There absolutely is a lot of time in a community recovery committee, and it's not always the best of times. You definitely get to be the person that gets yelled at for everything that goes wrong in the town. You get to be yelled at because somebody spilled polystyrene balls on the beach, or because the music was too loud, or because they didn't like whatever they didn't like. And so that's tough. That's tough. There are some hard yards there. And it's also exhausting. It has taken thousands and thousands and thousands of hours from a lot of people. It's not for the faint-hearted. And look, if you were, say, for example, in a very small community, you may not have the people who have the available time that this sort of a thing takes. You may not have people with the skills or the inclination, or you may have too many people in your community that are heavily impacted by the disaster that's brought you here. And so they're all really important considerations in thinking about whether community-led recovery is for you. And if it was, what kind of community-led recovery would you be talking about? Because it could be all kinds of a beast. It could be something really small. It could be as small as a Facebook communication device. It could be as big as, well, I guess ours is pretty big. And if you're in a really large community, it might not be for you at all. You might think, no, that's just really not achievable for us. And so they're all just considerations that it would be good to think about before sort of leaping off this precipice. That is community-led recovery. Famously, we're a community that fought over a boat ramp for 30 years. And that's still a very sore topic in town. I think that how we navigated how we avoided those kinds of conflicts, because there were plenty of times that they could have happened. I think that the way that we avoided having conflict was going to the community first. And so one of the things that we did very well, maybe we even overdid it, was communicating with the community. We didn't overdo that, but building a recovery plan. And I think that the process of building the recovery plan, even more so than the plan itself, is where the value lies. We learned how to have a collective conversation. We learned how to move towards something that's good for all of us, not necessarily just what an individual or a small group of individuals want. And so I guess we learned to move towards what we can all live with. I think that along the way we learned how we collectively feel about the place where we live and the way in which we live here. So because of all of those conversations that have happened over such a long time, firstly, I think everybody is aware that they've had an opportunity to say what they think. They've had an opportunity to be heard. They may have chosen to take that opportunity or not, but everybody, I'm sure, knows that they've had that opportunity. That opportunity's been repeated a number of times over the 4 years. We've come back to it, and in fact we're just about to start again, having that conversation with the community through community surveys. And so I think that we've kind of levelled up our collective consciousness as a town. We have much better understanding of what it is we appreciate about where we live, what we do and don't want going into the future. And so I guess that's a two-barreled thing, that we have collective understandings now, we have collective knowledge, and also that we had a process through which those things were generated, and that process got us through the most difficult and contentious of issues and of time.